Hi people, welcome to another episode of TBT. Of course, the Bedsitter talk. I'm Caroline Suma.
I'm Sichach.
Yes, of course we are bringing you and we'll be bringing you amazing content. So don't forget to subscribe, comment, hit the notification icon, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe,
hit the bell button, comment on comments.
We need a lot of comments so that like we can better ourselves.
Not even ourselves. Sichach is a parent, a poor parent. Yeah, this is for him.
You and anything.
Okay, fine. How are you, Martha?
Slaying.
How was your week?
Well, my week was fine. I hope you guys had an amazing time. We've been slaying. Clearly, we have a man today. He is absolutely voila.
Hi, Sichach.
Hi.
What's with your outfit?
Really into dancer now.
Yeah.
That's my outfit.
Oh, don't squeeze your boobs too much.
I got this. Anyway, I think my outfit is for today talking about
Gazing.
not gazing, the whole
LGBTQ
community. By the way, like we have problems with the acronyms. What is Q for?
Queer.
I know it's queer, but
Queer.
I think I've been thinking like queer is the same as gayism for a very long time. Queer and gay are the same thing for a very long time. Are we right? If you are not, of course you can tell us what it means in the comments.
Yeah. So Kenya, or as in of late, or society, as in people are against, as in some against and as some are with.
Is it accurate to say Kenya some are against?
Yeah. Some Kenyans are against whatever community, and some are for it, and some are just okay, like it doesn't bother them at all. Yeah. So I don't know, what's your opinion about this?
Well, I feel like Kenya, we're getting to a point where we will finally adjust to LGBTQ. Because looking way back, it was more of a problem then than right now. Because right now, I think we have we've come up with bodies that support now the rights of all. We've come up even with church leaders who are actually coming out and supporting these people in the name of
church leaders.
We have a Reverend. What's his name? He's from Coast, and he works with. He has an organization called the Shepherd.
What?
One of those. Yes, and he uses he uses that as from the Bible. He actually drew that from the Bible in the sense that there are people in the Bible. They quote that I will get the sheep who do not belong in this herd. Yeah, and make them and blend them as mine. Yeah, so he was thinking, who are these sheep? And so he located people who are probably gay or queer or transgender, and he has an organization that supports that, because at least even right now we have hospitals for LGBTQ, which was not there then, but still our society, we are still not yet there. Yeah, but I feel like Kenya is getting there. Yes.
But okay, I have a couple of arguments against what you're saying. For example, if that's the Bible verse he's using, sheep, and they bring them to the herd, don't you think like, okay, the LGBTQ community can go to church, but they're not going to church as accepted people, but they're going to be changed?
Actually, I have a point on that. I was watching another interview hosted by Jeff Koinange, and he had brought this gay person who had come out. What's his name? Binyavanga, and also he had invited some other church leaders, and the church leaders actually refused to come. And so I think just because the topic was about that, and Binyavanga being gay was there, I think they didn't want to associate themselves with him. Yeah, saying it's, I don't know, ungodly or something of that sort.
But which I find very wrong, because if you're a Christian, then you do not need to sideline people, because at the end of the day, the gospel is looking for these different people.
The problem is, okay, as a Christian, if you look at Christianity, by the way, I'm not sure, I'm not a staunch Christian. My parents are Christian, like everything, but for me, I'm kind of, it's okay, it's a religion. But for me, in Christianity, yeah, there's nothing like gayism which is permitted. And you see, like, so that if you're going to talk, Christians should accept gay people, that's different. But I think gay people should be accepted all in all as a country, because we are not a religious state, we are a republic. You get, so I think they should have rights. And also when you say like some are accepting and some are not, it depends on where you live in Kenya. And if you count 90% of the people in Kenya live in the rural areas, so, and only like almost 10% just live. I think every city of us except Nairobi has about less than 1 million people in the city, minus Nairobi and Mombasa, the rest have less than 1 million people. So, and if you count those at the urban areas, if you do it, at least 10% of people live in urban areas, and even among the urbanites, that's why you can say people are split, and it's not even fair. I think it becomes, again, even in urban areas, it's like 30% of the people accept like gay people, like either they don't have a problem with them or they accept them to as okay, it's fine, it's fine to be gay, it's not a problem. Only 30%. So if that's why you remember the interview Uhuru had.
And he said
it's not an issue.
It's not an issue in Kenya, because from a politician's point of view, they do the polls, and I think for a politician, the moment something has above like 60% approval, they would stand by it. You see, like if it has 60% approval, they stand, and I think they did, and they were like.
But I tend to differ with him saying it's not an issue, because by the fact that it's not being supported by every other person does not mean it's not an issue, because we have people in society who are suffering. We have so many people who might be gay or lesbian or transgender, or who feel not comfortable within the body they came with, and it's just the fear that, you know, this society does not accept me like this, then they stick to their inacceptance.
Actually,
and so being not an issue, I feel like now we are shedding out on the fact that these people might be actually suffering, or these people might want to come out in a good way, not even come out and change, but just come out and talk to someone and find people or a safe place where they can be accepted, or
but you see, like, I don't think, okay, again with safe places, I think if you are accepting people, they shouldn't have safe places. Safe places are for societies which do not accept people, such that they have, and I think actually gay people in Kenya have their safe places. They go to the establishments where gay people go, they talk to other gay people, but I don't think if we are accepting them, it shouldn't make you feel weird seeing a gay person. It shouldn't make
now you see, we cannot start by saying that we change every other person's mentality. We can start by saying that they get somewhere, and then now we help other people ease on what is it called, homophobia. Because yes, we may not want to have a safe place so that we can seem that we accept them, but the conservation behind Kenya, or even Africa in general, does not allow us to be even
but
there.
You see, like,
if I can remember well on what you said, is that it's a societal issue. It's like something of that, if there's a word that exists of that sort, but it's not a political issue, so he cannot say if it's right or if it's wrong according to him. And he was asked, what's of your opinion?
Actually, he didn't say according to him. He said, if you want to hear my opinion, wait until the interview, you can ask my opinion. You see, but for right now I'm speaking for Kenya, so I can't say my opinion. That's what he said. And I remember he was saying, like, and the journalist asked, are gay people attacked? And he said this, say that every Kenyan has a right and no one will attack these gay people.
But unfortunately, I've been watching videos that people put up and documentaries of LGBTQ, and we have even police officers who get people, and one, they either rob them of the money. Now they take everything that's theirs. Or they show that, you know, you're not straight, like, no, you're the target audience. Actually, there are officers who've been reported to rape even these gay people. And you see, if there's an officer, that is why I'm saying it's an issue. Because if you're in leadership and you arrest a gay person, not to take him to jail, but to rape him.
No offense to Kenya police, but I don't think they are leadership.
Okay, like whoever, okay, there are people who will look up for security purposes, yeah. And if you rape someone, then it means you're hiding behind something. You know, you like it in the ass.
Yeah, it's okay. But look, I don't have a problem with gay people. I think I'm too liberal to have a problem with gay people. I'm too liberal. That's also the reason that I say I'm not a Christian, because I don't know how to be 50-50. I can't because I accept a lot of things. Like, if you are gay, it's fine. Like, you like fucking men, it's fine. But for me, the problem I have with gay people is they have to show they are gay. You see, like, for example, okay, I know it's ironic that I'm dressed like this, but if you have to dress like a woman, you have to walk like a woman, you have to do everything like a woman so that we know you are gay, then you are not, you yourself, you are still trying to prove a point. No, but like, for example, right now I'm proving a point that I support gay people, but you don't have to prove a point.
No, but you see, the problem is, I was watching a video by Eric. Eric is he's a lawyer. He's one of the people who've been able to come out publicly that he's gay. And what he was saying is that people wear like that because that is what the society wants to see. Because every time he used to, well, he has that feeling that, you know, he wasn't comfortable in what he came in. But now, he never used to dress up. But every time people would meet him, actually, alikuwa anaitwa Tausi. So every time people would meet him, they'd want him, they'd tell him, you know, oh, gay people have studs. So every other time it reminds him that, you know, since I want to be accepted, he's not proving a point, but just accepting, so that you guys can define me not as the person I am, but the person I am supposed to be. Then I have to dress like this. I have to wear earrings.
Okay, I know. Like, you have to play the role of the role to look like it. But if let's say I'm gay, if right now I say I'm gay, and I'll just walk out in my normal dress, I'll just hit on men, I'll just have sex with men if I'm gay. If let's say you are lesbian, you just do the same. The problem is, why do we have to make it a huge definition? It's sex.
I feel like people who now go ahead to dress like maybe you're gay and you feel like, you know, you're the one who's supposed to be fucked. That's fine. You tend to look like a woman, because if you're being attracted, if you want to be attractive to the other person, they have to see the feminine side, which now contradicts with how psychological or biological our bodies are. Because if you're gay, then you need to attract someone who's very gay, like just the man. But unfortunately, men who are gay usually like the appeal. Usually like, you know, and that's why you find gay men looking all flourish in the foundation and
In 3 seconds, just sum up the whole thing.
Okay, I just feel like people should stop being homophobic. That's just my thing. Because it's okay for people to be comfortable in what they want, and it's fine, because they're not fucking you, they're fucking whoever they're fucking, and the people who are being fucked are enjoying.
Last 3 seconds.
Okay, for me, like, it's not so important. Like, I don't know why who we have sex with is so important. It shouldn't be a defining characteristic. After all, we are having sex. The population of the world is still growing. That's like, sex should not be so important in defining people. Just that.
Okay, as for me, I'm not gay and I'm not advocating for it, but then I think if you are in that community, don't come out. It's safe for you not to come out, because those who are out there and have decided to show who they are, who they are.
Clearly homophobic. Come on.
No, it's for safety purpose. It's for safety purpose, and yeah, I think that's it. 10 minutes.
Cut.
Things that mean shit.
Kenyans.
Grow the fuck up.
Road.
Yeah, with the things that happen.
Things that happen.
Shit to Kenyans, but they shouldn't. Talking of reality TVs, in Kenya there's Nairobi Diaries.
There's Nairobi Diaries.
Actually, guys,
and the other ones which are upcoming in
you see,
like,
she's really good at watching you.
Okay, I used to watch Nairobi Diaries.
Nataka kusema historia ukweli ama unadanganya watu.
Wait, let me tell you as in the reason as to why I started watching. Like I was not into, but I was watching Nairobi Diaries. It's because I once watched Janet Mwaluda's interview. Janet Mwaluda is the executive producer of Nairobi Diaries. And with Parents Magazine, she had an interview with Parents Magazine, and she was asked the reason as in why she came up with that show.
Diaries, yeah.
Yes, and she said it's because these things are happening, and just because
those things are happening.
What's happening?
Where? They happen.
Okay, first let me say why she named it a diary. It's because diaries, what people write in diaries are things that happen to people, but they don't bring them out there. They choose to disclose them. But then she just
to disclose someone to
ponder in their hearts.
Okay, ponder in their hearts.
So
yeah, because these things do happen, and just because you choose to, she decided to call it diaries, Nairobi Diaries, because there are things that
are written in diaries.
No, that happen to Nairobi girls, and they actually like people are hiding them, and it's supposed to be out there.
Yeah.
So I really.
So I have a question for you. What one thing have you ever watched in Nairobi Diaries that has happened to you?
Nothing.
Maybe, but of course, do you wear panties?
Okay. Doing this. This is my show. Hashtag Larry. This is my show.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, and she wanted something that will stand out because when alisema ati kila kiwasha TV it's about love stories at his them ametoka kwa family wa shamba, and then the guy from the rich family, and then I think it's just about love stories, and she wanted something different. And from when she was growing up, she was the outstanding child in their family. So,
yeah. So
I got to understand her, and I don't know.
You decided to watch it?
Not really, but yeah, but then I'm not. So, but everything in Anishtua, as in people pay tickets to go watch Nairobi Diaries reunion.
Well, I feel like the reunions are usually the most outstanding. If you've watched all through, I think they're now at season 9. Yeah. So what happens there is like a segment of every other pattern that was in the whole time, the whole season. Yeah. That's why people pay.
Okay, for me, I don't watch reality TV.
At all?
You have
I don't like not that I've never watched reality TV. I don't watch reality TV. I've watched some snippets of it. My girlfriend watches a lot of reality TV, but I have a problem with it. As all TVs, it's not accurate. 1, 2, it's vulgar without purpose. I can't watch something that's vulgar without purpose. It's art, it has to have purpose. If I'm going to devote my 1 hour on something, better mean shit. 3, it's called reality and there's nothing real about it. there's no single day that as much as those situations happen, they don't happen in that intensity. They don't. People cheat. People cheat.
Like that.
But okay, maybe like that. People cheat.
Yeah.
Like rabbits.
Yeah.
But the number of people being caught, it's not that dramatic.
Okay, I don't follow Nairobi Diaries, unfortunately. It's just that I watched it once and I found it so dramatic, like it was so extra, like, oh please, chill. But I respect, the efforts and everything. That's fine. I
feel it's a rip-off of everything that's happening in the US.
Well,
hip-hop, all the cities in US, and then there's Keeping Up with Kardashians.
I personally follow Rich Kids of Beverly Hills and Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Keeping Up with the Kardashians, I stopped following it kabisa when I noticed now the plot was not now going, like it got to a point where there's nothing new, there's nothing new.
The only Kardashian I keep up is Kanye's.
but I do Rich Kids of Beverly Hills, and that's just because I really like a certain couple that are within the show. They are very mature, it's adorable. And now the rest, I think it's just aspiration, work hard, you'll get there.
Like, okay, I'm not, for me and reality TVs, like for me, they just get on my nerves. And then there's this culture it brings, because people want their lives to be as dramatic as reality TVs. At times, as a boyfriend, I'm not even at fault, and you explain something so accurately, and oh no, like the amount of, someone wants it to be like you're a bad person so bad that you actually come off as a bad person, but at times, like, man,
are you confusing that for soap opera?
Yeah, I think you want to.
No, I'm not, because soap operas, actually I love soap operas because it will be very romantic, and the breakups, the arguments will be very chill.
No, I feel like you're confusing it with soap opera.
No, because the effect of TV, the effect of TV is the same. The effect of TV is the same. If people see women, like, okay, I get that many of women, like, to like that fucking thing, freedom, and the anger, and then actually because in reality TVs women are put in the forefront.
But I feel like reality TVs bring out more of a lavish life, like people living just
lavish, but there's also drama.
Okay, the drama in soap opera is when you see so much drama more than the lavish life, because it's all about you love me, you want to
for lavish life. I think people listen to hip hop, but because I know the drama that happens in these things, as much as people want to you're confusing with soap operas, they are soap operas. They are just shot in a different view.
Yeah.
That's because, like, if you look, those people get into relationships. Those people fuck each other across the studio, like in the stories. Who knows if it's real? Like, it's scripted to be like that, and people want this drama because they feel it's reality. These things happen. Why is it happening to me?
And she said it's actually real. She doesn't script anything.
But that's what that's what I wouldn't believe.
Yes.
I'm so sure.
Yes, reactions are scripted.
Yes, you can't even.
Bedroom hygiene, people. Bedroom hygiene. It's not.
Have you alone?
That's the one.
I think it's not lolo pekee. Kwanza, what's lolo? What's lolo? Because watu wana confuse lolo juu wanaume wengine wadhani lolo ni lolo yao, like hiyo dudu ni dudu.
Okay, in English now,
Yeah.
lolo is penis.
And
Nyas is pussy.
Yes, let's say, yeah.
I know.
That's so rude for the women.
Okay, your vagina.
Yeah, so.
Your vagina.
First of all, bedroom hygiene is just not at you. My bed is clean. No. We are talking down there. Personally, I advocate men to shave. Tuanze tu hapo.
Okay,
everything. Shave your damn balls.
On that, I just have to comment on that.
Yeah.
So you shave. This girl wants you to shave.
The other girl
wants you in a bush. What are you, a child?
No, but that's now where Umalaya comes in. Like, who do you want to fuck so many people? If you want to fuck so many people, then get people who like hair. They want to the hair, or get people who don't now like the hair.
What? we are not talking exclusively on blowjobs. Like it's bedroom hygiene, open palm and stuff.
Yeah. So I first, my hair brings a lot of things in between for me. That's what I think. But I don't know. Suma
Tuambia, tell us.
You talk first.
Okay, for me, I think I'll talk. I'm a guy, so I exclusively sleep with girls. So, for me, like I think take a shower, be fresh. Take care of your pussy. Like it's not a must. It smells like rotten fish.
Wait. You associate with with rotten fish.
Yeah.
Like rotten fish down there.
Yeah, like rotten fish. Like, okay, like a dried omena is fine, but rotten fish on the other hand, like okay, pussy has a smell. Like that's what someone can say. It smell like pussy. Like pussy has a smell. So, but I think dried omena is fine. Rotten is too much. I don't know. Like
what?
I think. Oh, no, if okay, I think mostly, and it try to be presentable because okay for me like this knowledge thing it doesn't work for me. I like to see things, so I try to be presentable. Shaving, I don't have an issue with shaving. You can be bushy. I'm not going to eat it if it's bushy, but if you're clean, like okay, you can do more. Yeah, I think for me that's it. I am not going to tell you a story of a person today, but oh, and also open bum. That's like I can't stress enough. Have you ever had the smell of an open bum, especially when you are on the doggy style and then the ass is shining and the smell. Oh, I don't know. Like I don't know if I should only be having sex with Muslim girls because they wash it with water.
But you can also like what if you're dating someone and then they are like that? Would you make them
like that? What?
Like open bum, rotten fish?
No, the problem is if they're like that and I'm dating them, then probably I found them fresh. But no, like
what
it's
do you mean? Like
fresh.
you have to.
No, like that's like I think you have. No, I think you have to have a hygiene on your areas because like literally since it's that theory like whenever it's enclosed in your body will stink and your pussy is enclosed and then it gets wet you use that to pee and it's in a nini so it will have a stench but you can manage it.
So you?
As for me with girls.
With girls?
It's okay. You want to judge her?
Okay,
you want to judge her?
No, I'm not judging. No,
point
because
of
I know she's straight. I know. I've
So,
seen her
yeah.
before.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm straight. I'm just saying. I don't want to go that far. With girls, just be clean. I mean, if you don't want to have that smell, just wash yourself. Even if you won't shower, like like it with the whole body. Just wash yourself with water, no soap.
Yeah.
At night and in the morning. Just do it twice a day. I think it will help a lot. And no soap.
Yeah.
I think that's
You don't have a comment on guys?
with guys I have no comments.
Serious?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, but I feel like now also with girls now it might also be beyond cleaning because sometimes you might be wearing underwear that is not. It's not right for your body. Like if you have this silk or mesh, these things that people like wearing, by the way, it affects your body. So you can invest in cotton. It may sound umama, but invest in cotton because the silk makes you cotton pants. Yeah, and the silk makes in a wet even when you sweat it accumulates. Alafu unapata tu mavitu. Hizo mavitu ndio zinanuka. Cotton.
Bedroom hygiene.
What's with your points concerning that?
No, like okay, I don't know. I've never fucked a man. I've not.
No, it doesn't mean
like
that.
what? How do you keep yourself hygiene?
Meme. I just shower. Okay, have you seen the meme on how men shower? I wash my head, I wash my balls, I wash my quappers, I wash needle, and that's it. Okay. And for me shaving, it depends with the woman I'm sleeping with. So if she prefers shaved pennies, I'll shave my whole area, clean if she prefer, whatever style she wants, that's how I will do it. Because I want to get laid constantly, because it's for the specific person, but luckily the person I'm with doesn't care if I'm clean or actually she prefers when I'm bushy. She says that if you're too clean, it's like she's fighting a child. So yeah.
But how do you guys keep yourselves clean from peeing? Because I think your pee is a bit different. Your peeing is a bit different. Yeah.
Clean.
Yes.
Shake after use.
Okay. That's it.
Shake after use, because like there's a reason why we don't use tissues, because like the way our nini, actually when you're flaccid, it's very hard for nini to come out, like then, so you just shake it, it's clean. Like we are made that way. If you use tissue, your urethra is quite long, so still some pee which was up there will come down again.
And another thing for girls, just use tissue after peeing. I mean, you don't have to be told that you just...
Honey, have you slept with a girl? Like you're very testy on this.
I'm giving tips for those girls
I thought men
who are smelling omega. No,
men give tips.
You don't have.
I'm talking about
whatever.
Do I have to explain my joke?
Okay, fine. Yeah, so I think just use tissue.
Yeah, what's our next thing we're talking about today?
Cyprian Nyakundi. So we are.
We are Kenyans, so English
No,
doesn't matter.
some of us are closer to England. We are on.
No, I'm not. Actually, you'll never hear me speak
He's
English. I'm
the
Kenyan
burden
and I'm proud to be Kenyan.
No, he's the burden we're carrying. That's why we're doing
Martha, I have to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Why is it important that I speak in fluent English like an England person? Yet, I hear people with accents all over the world. Like, have you ever heard someone complain of an Italian accent?
No, I'm not. Fluency is not the accent.
No, because like
there's the accent bit, and
what brings an accent? In reality, even the way how fluent English is brings an accent. For example, if you hear Kenyan speak, you'll hear things like me I, like. That's Kenyan English. Okay, back on
Cyprian. Guys, we are hating on Cyprian Nyakundi.
Okay.
Okay, there's so much about this guy. What's the issue?
Let me tell you. You see,
let's introduce us to Cyprian.
No, maybe
but I saw a photo of you
where?
and him.
Oh yeah. He loves you, by the way. She loves you. Like,
Cyprian.
She loves you.
She's a huge fan.
She's a huge fan. She was just like, oh, we are talking about Cyprian. Yes,
okay. But I'm hating on you.
Yeah.
So they decided we should hate on you. But
oh my god, that you
decided.
I don't have any hate. I swear.
Just know, these topics are passed through a panel of 3 people.
I'm not.
Anyway, so
Martha seems to have burning issues. Just go ahead, say whatever you want to
you have
say.
burning issues.
Okay, well, I'm hot. Clearly, I'm hot, so of course, everything. But that aside, so first of all, whatever I'm going to say is totally my opinion. I feel like he's so angry about life. He's too angry about life. Like, yo, when will I go to social media and find something positive? Please, my nigga, as much as this is 254, it has a lot of...
I don't think he gets likes from the positivity though.
But okay, fine. But let me be happy at least sometimes. I don't want to be angry like Kenya is failing, but it's fine.
But Kenya is failing, it's fine.
But then you don't have to remind us all the time we are failing.
We are not really failing. We are growing. We are growing.
Oh no, like
we are growing. We are not failing.
Let's say Martha, you're in class, and you are number 50 out of 52, and then
the next
class, the next exam you improve by 2%, and you are still number 50 out of 52. No, the next time the problem is the person who is on top of you improved by 10%.
Numbers don't matter.
Numbers matter.
Percentage matters. That's it.
Numbers, like, by the time people are in the 2100s, we are still in somewhere in like 2017.
But it's I think we are way better than other people. Like, we are way better.
Yeah, but you can't compare yourself. Okay, we are better than other failing countries. You see, like, that's the problem. We are comparing.
But we grow. Like, people. You see what Cyprian has done to people. Like, we have some good things.
Cyprian, no offense to you, but I'm not a fan of your work. It's not because you don't point out issues that matter, it's the way you approach the issues that matter. Like, that's my problem. Like, you sensationalize the sensationalize. You sensationalize the
what?
Sensationalize. What's wrong with you? I'm saying the same thing. You sensationalize that word. You sensationalize your information so much, and at times, like, it for a person who has stepped in school, and I think you need to thank God very much. Kenyans are very stupid because they actually like your stuff. Because for me, I can't tolerate what you're writing. One, it's not accurate. Like, even if the part that's accurate is fine. Like, when you mention something, I know actually it's an issue, but when you explain it, I'm like, oh, fuck this shit. Like, it's too much for me. It's too much. Like, there was a way you could have handled it, and right now you have the name, and I believe you're not as stupid as you write. I really believe that, because yeah, you point out issues that matter. No, like, who cares? Who cares? I'm actually here to offend you so that you can, because right now I know you're not as stupid as the way you write, I'm sure, because the issues you tackle are actually issues that should be tackled. But for Cyprian, you sensationalize your need too much. You go into things that are almost rumors, they are not verified. And right now you have a voice, and I think it's time, like, slowly change. Your audience will change with you. You have the numbers. That's for me. But
I feel like you have the wrong target audience. Like, for example, we have seen so many posts. Actually, when you go to Google and just look for Cyprian Nyakundi, you don't see his auto bio. You just see, or his bio, you just see things that he's posted, like polls and tweets and nini. And one of the most outstanding things when he was talking about the CEO for Britannia, which I feel like Britannia is a biscuit. Listen. I don't want to read about
it's a business.
It's a business. But get the people who are. You see, now the approach part is the fact that now who are being affected by whatever is going on in Britannia.
The people who are eating the
I don't think it's the people who are eating the biscuits. Yes, get to them. Like, don't make us feel so bad.
I think actually, okay. I think Cyprian, okay, this is my approach with him. My problem with approach was sensationalism. But for me, I think when it comes to that, he hits where it's needed to be hit. Because one, you fuck up people's money, they pay attention. You see, like, once the money is fucked up, people will pay attention. And I think Cyprian knows that.
No, but I feel like things like Britannia, as much as it's fucking up people's money, there was the whole content behind the whole story that she was posting was more of the shareholders and, you know, their leaders and the board, not about people who are eating the biscuit. This is not Nyau biscuit. Kata only in Nakuru and in samosas. So you see, it's not
offense taken.
These people were slaughtering cats, but it's fine. You know,
not like, these people. That one person
I feel
was
like he
selling
was
cats to a lot of people who are eating. But then there's a place in Nakuru I go to bad movies in Shoppers, and this guy.
Samosas. No, you just say Shoppers.
Yeah, Shoppers Paradise. People from Nakuru. And then this guy spreads the samosas. I'm 100% sure I've eaten Nyau samosas. But
back to Cyprian.
So I feel like, you see, it's not a matter, like, you're making Kenya look so bad that Sichet would say, you know, we are not growing.
No, but it's not because
Britannia. People are dying of hunger. Like, let's talk about that. Let's talk about how our government has not yet fulfilled half of its manifesto. Let's talk about that. Because Britannia, waking up to see Britannia.
It's okay. What? It's okay, Martha. Like, it's okay, like, to talk about Britannia because people have invested in that company. It's okay to talk about Britannia. My problem is, like, when you say, like, I'm negative about Kenya, but I'm one of the most patriotic people. Actually, I don't walk when the flag is being raised at any moment. Like, any time I hear the whistle, I stand.
You can see that the colors. He's full of.
But apart from me being a patriot, I can't stand, and because I'm a patriot, I just chill and say everything is okay because I love my country.
What do you think of Cyprian?
Of Cyprian, I think it's shit basically.
I think that he has so many ideas, or he's very idealistic, but now he does not have the facts, making him more of a paparazzi than a good communication student.
Yeah, that's why I say that
his content is not up to date. Like he runs to things too easily.
Yeah, I think like that's why I say like he's lucky that majority of Kenyans are stupid. Just that.
And I think some media stations entice him. Is that the right
like when I'm church?
Yeah, when I'm church, and I think some of these media stations give him some information which they're afraid to put out there. So I think, I don't know.
I know like the media stations may use him to disseminate information that they don't have clear facts and need, but it needs to be out there. And I don't think like it's a bad thing. My problem is right now he's more intelligent than what he posts, and he needs actually to change
to get away. Yes,
like,
but then I remember one thing that he said when that time I was with him. I don't think if he remembers, he said, let me quote him a little bit what I can remember. He said anaogopa juu anafeel ni kama anatafutwa. I don't know, I just felt no, wait of course not you, like
yeah, I know.
Like at that moment there was something alikuwa put out there, but then he was, I don't know, I felt sorry for him, but then
the problem is actually what he does has an impact.
Yes.
It has an impact. That's why I get why people may look for him.
Yes.
And that's why I say like the approach is right, because if a person is a CEO, the only moment to get a CEO fired is when the profits are not reflecting. And how do you make the profits fail? You
failing the whole brand.
No, you get to the people who are consume that product, and I think that's what he's doing.
But I feel like
the sensationalism.
I feel like the people in power, or let's say the government and the jury, usually have a problem when something is in the limelight. And you see, when people in higher ranks have a problem, there's an issue. Like what?
There's an issue.
But
anyway.
Because the other day when he was caught in Milimani, and before that he was posting and saying there's some guy from DCI who was looking for him and his life was in danger, and he kept at it. And when they saw now it's alarming, they had to get him arrested, and he had like a 2.1 M.
You see, the problem with him is like every time he's arrested, he's always at fault, because actually in reality he's at fault. He didn't get his facts.
But no.
Yeah.
Okay.
So guys, that's it we had for today. Thank you for watching once again. This is TBT, the Bedsitter Talk.
TBT.
Of course, don't judge us. These conversations do happen. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe, comment.
Please judge me in your comments.
His
the notification icon.
Yeah, hit the bell. That's it. It's a love catch.